Coach, before we talk about this week and homecoming and certainly everything surrounding a homecoming, your football team just can't seem to catch a break on the injury side. I know that that's something that is a factor. We talked about this off the air a little bit ago, but it is awful hard for a team to lose 4 starters and seniors like that and still come out and try to perform the way you want to.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And, the big thing is, we're losing, we're missing seniors that have played a lot for us over the last 2 or 3 years, especially. A couple of those guys have started for 3 years. So, it's hard to replace them with freshmen or sophomores that haven't got a lot of experience. But, like I told you, nobody really cares whether we're injured or not. All they want to know is, did you win, did you lose? But it does make it more difficult when you're trying to develop young kids and you got older kids that go out, young kids got to step in, even though they're maybe not quite ready yet.
Well, bottom line is, too, you don't have a ton of depth to deal with because of, again, you still got a relatively young football team in many respects, not just maybe from the aspect of grade, but just from playing performance, too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got the kids that play a lot for us are kids that have played. And they know what they're doing, and we can stay in some games and have opportunities and be close in games. But when we have to start taking people out, and you take certain parts out of the equation, it makes it a lot harder. The math gets a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it does. Well, from that standpoint, I asked you maybe if Jeremiah might be back. I guess that would certainly be at least a big plus right there. You kind of have to – is that going to be a game-time situation?
Yeah, I mean, we just don't know yet with him. He's been out for a couple of weeks, and he did practice a little bit yesterday. So he still needs to get into game speed and game shape in terms of getting back up to speed with what we're doing. We've changed some things a little bit, and and not that he hasn't been here. He's been here every day, and he's helped the other kids, and he's done a great job while he was out, trying to coach kids up and help them get better so that we could be better. But it's tough losing a kid that's a 1,000-yard rusher, and he was leading us in rushing this year when he went down. So it's hard to replace those kids.
Coach, and I know it has to be really frustrating on the sidelines when I thought your offense was starting to pick up a couple of weeks ago. You're starting to get where you wanted to go, and then you take a step back. How difficult is that as a head coach and a staff just to try to think of how we're going to get this thing turned around as quickly as you can?
Well, it is difficult because, you have certain things that are working, and I think we did have some things going okay. We'd struggled quite a bit in the passing game. Now, last week we did have 131 yards passing. So that part of the game was better, but it had to be because our running game wasn't as good. Alex Hokie is just now kind of getting back into pretty good shape in terms of being able to really run and carry the ball lots. He got hurt and, rolled his ankle at the Ball State game, which was the second week of the season. And he's just now getting back to the point where I feel like he's not, favoring that ankle and he's really able to cut off of it and things like that. So, hopefully with him getting healthy and hopefully we can get Jeremiah back, those two working together hopefully will help our running game. And then we need to continue to develop the passing game because I have seen strides in that. Even in practice this week, we had much better practices this week throwing the ball than we did, earlier in the year. So, it's just a matter, you got to give it time.
Union City, they're kind of a hard team sometimes to figure out, at least from my perspective. When you look at, they turn out, they beat Northeastern. Last week they didn't play as well as I thought maybe they would have, and they've had kind of an up-and-down season so far this year. What do you expect, and what kind of game you looking at Friday night?
Oh, it's going to be physical. I mean, they're going to play hard, and they're going to, they've got low numbers as well, but those kids, I mean, they get them playing hard. There's no doubt that they're going to come out fired up. They're going to come out ready to hit, very aggressive defensively, and that's a trademark of Union City. It has been for a long time. So, they do what they do, and they get aggressive with you defensively, and, offensively, they're very similar to us offensively in the things that they do, the types of formations they use, and the plays they run. So, that should help us a little bit in terms of slowing them down a little bit because, we see that in practice, even though we don't put our number one D against our offense. But, it's just a matter of, we know they're going to play hard. We know they're tough kids. They're aggressive. They like to hit. They like to run to the football.
Coach, this week is homecoming week. I think we talk about this every year because bottom line is it's part of the football game, it's part of the festivities and everything, but it's also a little bit of a distraction too. I think I've asked you that before. How do you overcome that? How do you keep focused on football and try to keep all the other stuff aside?
Well, and probably my way I handle things has changed over the years as I've gotten older and stuff. And you got to realize that, it's high school. These kids, this isn't going to be their life's work. So, I want them to have fun. I want them to enjoy the homecoming stuff. And I think we've had a great week this week with activities and things at the school. And, a lot of people are trying to get fired up for the game and everything, which is awesome. But we try to tell them, have fun during the day. That's fine. Okay, but when we get out here at 3:30, it's time to go to work. It's time to practice. We need to be thinking about football at that point, So they have to kind of compartmentalize their day a little bit, and go ahead and be a kid and have fun. Okay, participate in activities. But at the same time, when we're practicing, practice. And put your mind on the game.
Now, do you find are they pretty good at that right now?
They haven't been too bad. I've been pretty happy with the results. It's probably harder on me because I don't. Especially game day when we've got the parade and all that stuff. I'm not a big parade guy. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that would tell you that. But they do it. When they do it, it really bothers my schedule more than the kids. And I'm a creature of habit, as a lot of coaches are. So I don't really like the game day activities. But that's part of the parcel too.
Hey, Coach, before I let you go, though, we better make sure we clarify so we don't offend any of the parade people out there that you like parades. You're just not. I mean, you're like fireworks. You've seen them once, you've seen them all, right?
Oh, I don't like to participate in parades. I have no problem with parades. The more bands, the more hoopla, the better. I'm not a big fan of being a part of the parade. I don't want to be I don't like to work on my parade wave.
Well, I'm glad we clarified that because now you don't have to worry about the emails and stuff, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. I appreciate it.